Have you ever wondered what it's like to be wealthy? What are the secrets that make some people millionaires while others struggle to make ends meet? It's a question that's likely crossed your mind, and it's not as straightforward as it may seem. We often imagine wealth as a lavish lifestyle filled with luxury cars, sprawling estates, and endless vacations. But the reality of wealth, particularly the kind of wealth that lasts, is often far removed from this glamorous image. In fact, the secret to accumulating wealth isn't about earning the highest salary or flaunting the most extravagant possessions. It's about financial independence and the choices that lead us there. So where can we learn about these choices? Enter The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. This gem of a book shatters many common misconceptions about wealth, presenting surprising truths about what it means to be genuinely wealthy in America. Stanley's book is based on years of research into America's affluent, and it reveals that most millionaires live right next door, in plain sight. They're not in the limelight, they're not celebrities, and they're not living the ostentatious lifestyle we often associate with wealth. These millionaires are ordinary people who have amassed extraordinary wealth through discipline, hard work, and smart financial decisions. The book also explores the concept of financial independence, emphasizing that it's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. It's about making your money work for you instead of working for your money. It's about understanding the difference between income and wealth. In The Millionaire Next Door, Stanley argues that anyone can accumulate wealth if they're willing to live below their means, invest wisely, and ignore the consumer culture that encourages constant spending. It's not about getting rich quick, but about getting rich slowly and surely. So if you've ever wondered about the secrets to wealth, you're in the right place. Today, we delve into the surprising secrets of America's wealthy as revealed in The Millionaire Next Door. What does a millionaire look like? You might be surprised. Now let's dive into the first chapter of The Millionaire Next Door, where we debunk some common stereotypes about millionaires. The images that often spring to mind when we think of millionaires are of flashy celebrities living in palatial mansions, driving fancy cars, and living the high life. But the reality is quite different and might just surprise you. Most of the millionaires in America are self-made, having built their wealth from scratch. They didn't inherit a fortune or win the lottery. They worked hard, often starting their own businesses, and accumulated their wealth gradually over time. The majority of them are first-generation rich, which is a testament to their perseverance and determination. Let's talk about their lifestyle. It's not all Dom Perignon and caviar. In fact, most millionaires lead a frugal lifestyle, living well below their means. They're not interested in flaunting their wealth or keeping up with the Joneses. They prefer to save and invest, rather than spend on ostentatious displays of wealth. They're more likely to be found shopping in discount stores than in high-end boutiques. One of the most surprising facts is where they choose to live. They don't necessarily reside in upscale, ritzy neighborhoods. They're more likely to live in middle-class or upper-middle-class neighborhoods, in homes that are far from ostentatious. They prefer to blend in rather than stand out. And their cars? You won't typically find them behind the wheel of a Bentley or a Ferrari. They're more likely to drive a reliable, well-maintained mid-range car. They understand that a car is a depreciating asset and prefer to invest their money where it will grow, rather than lose value. So, the image of a millionaire that we often see in the media is far from the truth. The real millionaires are the ones living next door, leading a modest lifestyle, and building their wealth quietly and steadily. So, the millionaire next door might be more like your modest neighbor than a flashy celebrity. Can frugality lead to wealth? Let's explore. Welcome to Chapter 2, where the essence of frugality is the heart of the conversation. Thomas J. Stanley, in his book, The Millionaire Next Door, underlines the importance of frugality as a significant characteristic of America's wealthy. He emphasizes that the wealthy didn't attain their financial status by extravagant spending or showy consumption, but rather by being judicious with their resources and, yes, being frugal. Frugality, as Stanley puts it, isn't about being miserly or stingy. It's about being resourceful and conscious of where one's money is going. It's about making thoughtful decisions, like opting for quality over quantity, avoiding unnecessary expenses, and investing wisely. It's about understanding the value of money and respecting it. Stanley introduces us to the concept of conspicuous consumption. It's the tendency to spend money on luxury goods and services to publicly display economic power. But the millionaires next door, they're not into that. They're not interested in flaunting their wealth. They're more about accumulating it. They believe in living within their means, not beyond. They're the ones driving secondhand cars, living in modest neighborhoods, and shopping at discount stores. They're the ones who understand that financial freedom doesn't come from showing off wealth, but from effectively managing it. Stanley asserts that these millionaires often attribute their financial success to their frugality. They see the power in saving, in investing, and in being financially savvy. They understand that every dollar saved is a dollar earned. So, does frugality lead to wealth? Stanley's research suggests it does. The millionaires next door aren't born with silver spoons. They're self-made, and they've built their fortunes not by living in the lap of luxury, but by embracing the power of frugality. They've realized that the key to accumulating wealth isn't about how much you earn, but how much you keep. In other words, being frugal can indeed be a path to wealth. How do you allocate your time, energy, and money? It's a simple question, but it's at the heart of Chapter 3 in The Millionaire Next Door. This chapter dives into the nitty-gritty of how successful people distribute their resources. It suggests that the secrets to accumulating wealth aren't found in high-paying jobs or inheritance, but rather in the strategic allocation of one's time, energy, and money. Let's break it down. Time, the most precious resource we have. Wealthy individuals understand its value and thus are meticulous about how they spend it. They prioritize tasks that contribute to their financial goals, such as investing in continuous learning and networking. They understand that time well spent today can yield significant dividends in the future. Next, energy. It's all about channeling your efforts towards productive pursuits. Successful people don't waste their energy on trivial matters. Instead, they focus on what can further their financial growth, be it a side hustle, investment opportunities, or self-improvement ventures. And finally, money. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and grow. The wealthy are frugal, not miserly. They understand the power of compound interest and the importance of investing wisely. They allocate their money where it can work for them, rather than spending it on ephemeral pleasures. The chapter underscores that these three resources, time, energy, and money, are interconnected. Mismanagement of one can lead to the squandering of others. But when you treat these resources with respect and aim for efficiency, you're more likely to find yourself on the path to financial independence. So the next time you find yourself with some spare time, a burst of energy, or a bit of extra money, remember this chapter. Consider how you can best allocate these resources to further your financial goals. It seems that how you choose to spend your time, energy, and money can greatly affect your financial independence. Is your car a status symbol or just a means of transportation? Chapter 4 of The Millionaire Next Door, The Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy, delves into this question. It's a fascinating exploration of how millionaires perceive and use automobiles. The authors, Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, found that millionaires often see cars as mere tools rather than status symbols. The car's primary purpose for them is to get from point A to point B. It's not about making a statement or impressing the Joneses. This mindset is a stark contrast to the common belief that being wealthy means driving the latest, most luxurious car. But here's the twist. The frugality of these millionaires extends to their cars. Most millionaires don't drive new high-end cars. Instead, they prefer to buy used cars and drive them for several years, extracting as much value as possible from their purchase. This approach reflects their general attitude toward spending, value over vanity, substance over show. Moreover, this chapter emphasizes that millionaires, despite their wealth, don't feel compelled to buy a car as a status symbol. It's not about the brand, model, or the price tag. It's about the functionality, the practicality, the longevity. This chapter also reveals a significant distinction between the wealthy and those who aspire to appear wealthy. The latter group often falls into the trap of buying expensive cars they can't truly afford, thereby straining their finances. On the other hand, true millionaires understand the implications of such purchases on their financial health and choose to prioritize their long-term wealth over short-term appearances. In essence, the message of this chapter is a powerful one. It encourages us to rethink our perspective on spending and wealth. It reminds us that being wealthy isn't about flaunting it. It's about making smart, calculated decisions that prioritize long-term wealth accumulation over short-term gratification. Remember, you aren't what you drive. The car you drive doesn't define your worth or your success. What's more important is the journey you're on, the decisions you make, and the principles you live by. What happens when parents provide financial assistance to adult children? This question brings us to Chapter 5 of Thomas J. Stanley's enlightening book, the Millionaire Next Door. Here we dive into the idea of economic outpatient care, or EOC, a term coined by Stanley himself. EOC refers to the substantial financial gifts that affluent parents give to their adult children. While these acts of generosity might seem like a blessing at first glance, Stanley argues that they can have detrimental effects, stunting the development of financial independence and self-reliance in the recipients. Imagine a scenario where a parent constantly bails out their child whenever they face financial difficulties. Over time, the child may develop a sense of entitlement, expecting to be saved from financial challenges instead of learning to navigate them independently. This dependence on parental wealth can lead to a lack of motivation to earn, save, and invest wisely. Stanley's research found that the more dollars adult children receive, the fewer they accumulate themselves. They become accustomed to a higher standard of living that they did not earn, and this can lead to reckless spending and poor financial decisions. They're also more likely to rely on credit, accumulating debt, rather than wealth. Stanley suggests that the best gift parents can give their children is not a free ride through life, but the knowledge and skills to handle money wisely. This includes teaching them about budgeting, saving, investing, and the value of hard work. By doing this, parents can help their children become financially independent and secure their own wealth. Moreover, parents who provide EOC often sacrifice their own financial security. They could be using those funds to build their own wealth or secure their retirement. So, what's the takeaway from this chapter? It's clear that while it may be tempting to provide financial assistance to our loved ones, fostering their financial independence may bring them greater benefits in the long run. So, financial independence may be more beneficial than financial assistance. How can you support your children without compromising their financial independence? Now that's a question that can stir up a hornet's nest. Chapter 6 of The Millionaire Next Door grapples with this conundrum head-on. The authors, Stanley and Danko, suggest a balanced approach to financially supporting children. They argue that spoon-feeding wealth or economic outpatient care can, ironically, stunt their ability to generate wealth independently. It's a bit like that old adage, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. The authors point out that it's not about leaving your children high and dry. It's about giving them the tools they need to build their own fortune. This might mean supporting their education or helping them with a down payment on a house. But it doesn't mean gifting them a life of luxury they haven't earned. This chapter is a stern reminder that wealth is not just about money. It's about independence, resilience, and the ability to navigate the world on your own terms. And isn't that what we all want for our children? In essence, financial support should be more about enabling than entitling. It should be a springboard, not a safety net. So, the next time you're faced with a decision about financially supporting your children, remember this chapter. Supporting your children doesn't have to mean compromising their financial independence. How can finding your niche lead to wealth? This question sets the stage for our 7th chapter, a riveting exploration into the concept of finding your niche in the market. Imagine for a moment a world teeming with opportunity, yet crowded with competition. In such a world, standing out from the crowd is not only desirable but vital. This is the world of business and entrepreneurship. And in this world, finding your niche can be a game changer. The 7th chapter of The Millionaire Next Door delves into this idea, examining how identifying and seizing a unique market opportunity can pave the path to wealth. It's not just about being different for the sake of being different, but about discovering where you can provide value in a way that no one else can. It's about capitalizing on your unique strengths and passions and turning them into a profitable venture. The chapter goes on to illustrate this with real-life examples of individuals who've struck gold by carving out their niche. From the entrepreneur who found success in a specialized cleaning service to the artist who created a unique style that captivated the masses. Each story underscores the same theme. Finding your niche can lead to extraordinary wealth. So, as you venture into the world of wealth creation, remember this. Don't just be part of the crowd. Strive to stand out. Look for the gaps, the overlooked opportunities. Hone your unique skills and passions. Finding your niche might just be your key to wealth. What have we learned from The Millionaire Next Door? Let's wrap up this enlightening journey with some key takeaways from each chapter. Starting from the premise of the wealth question, we've discovered that the millionaires living amongst us are not always as they appear. They are often inconspicuous, living frugally, and valuing financial independence over displays of high consumption. In the first chapter, we met these surprising millionaires who don't fit the stereotypical image of wealth. They are often self-made, accumulating wealth over time through hard work, perseverance, and most importantly, self-discipline. Chapter 2 emphasized the power of frugality. It's not about how much money you earn, but how much you keep. The truly wealthy avoid extravagant lifestyles and instead make conscious decisions to live below their means, saving and investing the surplus. The third chapter highlighted the importance of time, energy, and money management. The wealthy understand the value of these resources and use them wisely to build and maintain their wealth. Chapter 4 debunked "You aren't what you drive." The wealthy don't feel the need to impress others with ostentatious displays of wealth. Instead, they understand that financial independence and strength are not reflected in material possessions. The fifth chapter introduced the concept of economic outpatient care, warning against the pitfalls of providing substantial economic support to adult children, which often hampers their financial independence. Chapter 6, Affirmative Action, Family Style, showed us the importance of nurturing an environment of self-sufficiency and fiscal responsibility in the family. The final chapter, Find Your Niche, encouraged us to find our unique path to wealth, highlighting that the path to financial independence is often less crowded and more rewarding. So the overall message from the Millionaire Next Door is clear. Wealth is not about high income or flashy consumption. It's about frugality, discipline, and the wise management of resources. Remember, the path to financial independence might be closer than you think, right next door.